out to Wakefield Trinity last night, got robbed in extra time. Good aspect, Leeds United won 4-0 at Burnley, so that's good. Love to see Blackpool FC to reach the playoff final.
Yeah, we would love that as well.
Checks Danny Boy, big up the Banbury Massive.
Oh wow, should we bring Danny in?
Yes, we're going to bring him in. Let's get our headphones on. We've got the.
So Danny is.
You explain what he is.
He is a friend of Andy Morell's, actually, which is how we've encountered him. And he was saying he's got a very interesting story about going to watch Blackpool at Wembley in one of the playoff finals, and also he is an Oxford United fan. So we can get the lowdown on Oxford from him as well.
Let's get him in the stream. So. Who's here? There he is. Hello, Danny.
Hello, Danny.
Afternoon. How are we doing? Okay.
We're fine. You're loud and clear. Everything's perfect. Your end. We are the technology nightmare. We had a bit of a problem.
It's much better now. It was breaking up earlier, wasn't it? I thought it was my end, but thankfully it wasn't.
No, it's
usually yours. To be fair,
we tried to do it on the Mac rather than on the laptop, and it just all went pear. So let Jane introduce you. And
yeah, so I don't know where to go first with you, really. So I was just explaining that we've sort of encountered you because you're a friend of Andy Morell's, and there was a stag do the weekend of the playoff final that Andy wasn't able to attend because he was playing for us. But you had a bit of an adventure, I believe, travelling to Wembley that day.
Yeah, that's right. It's a tenuous link, if I'm honest. Andy's a friend of a friend, so I went to college in Leicestershire at Loughborough. And met a very good friend there, a lad called Chris, who I'm still very friendly with now. And he went to school with Andy and knocked around with him, played cricket with him, played basketball with him. And I got to know him. I got to know him before he was even a footballer. So he's probably laughing now because I just texted him. We went on a holiday together, camping in Cornwall and all sorts of, crazy things, all crammed into my little Fiesta back in the early 90s. Wow. And Andy was at university in Newcastle and was playing, I think, for a local team there, scoring a lot of goals. And I think it was a friend of a friend or someone he knew that got him a trial at Wrexham. He then went on a couple of weeks trial for Wrexham and signed for Wrexham. And the rest is, I guess for him, the rest is history, really. He scored bucket loads of goals for Wrexham. He scored quite a few against Oxford, which was a difficult watch for me, if I'm honest. He played under Dennis Smith, who was an old Oxford manager as well. He moved to Coventry and then he ended up at Blackpool, didn't he? So it was 2007, if I'm right, May 2007. So Andy was obviously a tentative for the stag do. So part of us wanted him to be there, but part of us didn't. We were kind of pulling for Blackpool to get through. And you'll have to remind me, I'm not too sure, but I watched both of the semi-final legs, and they're quite usual playoff games. They're always exciting, aren't they? And crazy things going on, but against Oldham, that's right. So and I think that one of the games was about the Monday, was it? It was only about a week before the Wembley final, I think, wasn't it? It wasn't that long before. So I remember watching that.
I think it was a Sunday morning. Did they play on Sunday?
Was it? Okay. So yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't a long gap between that and the final. So bearing in mind, it's 2007, so Wembley is the new Wembley. So not been to the new Wembley. Didn't think I would be going, supporting Oxford, because at the time we were in the conference. That's another story. So off we go on the stag do. We go to Shrewsbury on the Friday night. We go to Liverpool on the Saturday. All the while in the back of our minds thinking, we knew we had tickets because Andy had got us tickets, and we were like, we want to try and go if we can. But we thought it's a long shot. I think kickoff, was it about late afternoon, 4 o'clock-ish, something like that. So if I say that 12 hours previous, we're still in I'll call it a club in Blackpool. And the general chat is, we're not going to make it, are we? It's not going to happen. Now, one of the lads, a lad called Pete Hames, who's very good friends of Andy, was distraught at this idea because he was desperate to go to see his mate play at Wembley.
Right.
So as it turns out, we all rolled in. We stayed at the Adelphi, which is quite a famous hotel, isn't it, in Liverpool?
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't recommend it. One of the lads, Gary, slept in a chair, fully clothed. And we woke up at someone woke me up, ringing the room telephone about 8 o'clock and said, "Come on, we're going." And I can hardly see straight. So in a kind of blind stupor. Just got up, put some clothes on, chuck stuff in the bag, and down we go. So we're down in the hotel reception, paying for our rooms, and we sort of roll out the hotel, and the two vehicles couldn't have been any different. So one of our mates, Gary, he worked for Sky TV. So we had a Sky TV van. Yeah. And then Jake works in the City of London, and he's got a Porsche. So we're in convoy from Liverpool in a Porsche and a Sky van. You know, I mean, if I'm honest, probably a good job that the drivers weren't pulled over at the time, but there we go. You know,
do you want me to get it?
No, it's all right, I'll get it.
Cool. We just got a delivery around. Just so the delivery.
Someone's knocked the door. Yeah,
it all happened. Yes,
I know. So off we go on the journey. Not really factoring in how blinking far it is. You know, Liverpool to North London, not easy. Jake lived in London, so and this comes into the. It sort of got us out of jail as time went on, really, because Jake knew London really well. Obviously, he lives there. One of the little things that I will mention is at the time there was a song in the charts by the Fratellis called Chelsea Dagger, and it's a well-known song. That, you know, we had it on in the van on the way up. We heard it in the pubs, and it was just like one of them songs. It was just like a back theme to the whole weekend.
Okay.
So anyway. We had a horrendous journey. It was raining, and we just had an awful journey. The roadworks on the M1. At one point, we just gave up. We said, we're not going to make it for kickoff. We pulled over, went to the service station, and we said, look, we might as well just carry on and see if we can get there for like the second half or whatever. And it turns out we got to the outskirts of London, and we were just gridlocked, and we were moving nowhere. So Jake rings one of the lads. I was in the Sky van. Jake rings, and he says, right, follow me. He said, I've got an idea. And we drove to Jake's house, which is not that near London, not that near Wembley, but he said it's the quickest route to get to Wembley. So we abandoned the cars. This is about, let's say kickoff was 4:00. This is about 3:30.
Wow.
Tickets in hand. We jump in the tube straight up to Wembley, and we get out, and we're thinking, brilliant, we're here. Well, not realising it's quite a walk from the station, the old station that used to be there, up Wembley Way to the ground. One of the lads in our group wasn't the fittest, bless him. We've run, this is about 10 to 4. We run from there all the way up to the ground. Obviously, Wembley's enormous, isn't it? And we're trying to find
which entrance to go into.
What entrance? So we looked at the ticket, and it says something like entrance 120, and we're looking, and it's I read somewhere it was a mile from like where the Bobby Moore statue is. If you do the whole circuit around the ground, it's a mile. We're like half a mile runner. So we get to our entrance, and we think, brilliant, we're in, we've done it. Then we didn't realise we were up in the gods at the top.
Oh God!
We're on all these escalators, and we can hear all the crowd cheering and singing. And it's about 2 minutes to kick off.
Wow!
So up we go. None of us have got a Blackpool scarf or anything on, and then we come running out. And we got in, and I swear to God, and the lads will vouch for this. As we walked down and we sat on our seat, I think Andy kicked off for Blackpool.
Wow.
And we just sat there and just looked at each other, and we were like, we made it. We stuck there because we didn't know any of the songs, and none of us were Blackpool fans. Yeah. But like 2 hours later, we were all Blackpool fans because I mean they just played so well. They were absolutely superb. And and I remember a couple of things. I remember the songs and singing and Seasiders and all that. And I just remember so many fans just looking absolutely in disbelief because you guys were getting into the Championship, which was just bizarre, wasn't it, for you, if I'm honest, you know. And one lad come up to me and he hugged me and he said, "We're in the Championship, mate." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And at the time, my team were in the blooming conference, and I'm like, "This is worlds apart." And then now, 14 years on, we're in that situation. But just the last thing quickly was a couple of things from Andy. Andy said he was gutted because Keegan Parker didn't pass to him. I think he was too up. And he said, I was there waiting. He said, and I thought he's going to square it to me, and he didn't. And Andy was absolutely gutted. But when your captain went up to lift the trophy, what song was played at Wembley?
I would imagine Chelsea Dagger, was it?
Chelsea Dagger, true. Chelsea Dagger by the Fratellis. And we're all singing it. So then Chris got married in about July, I think, and Andy was playing pre-season game, and he came in the evening. and we requested from the DJ to put Chelsea Dagger on. We dragged him on the dance floor. He was sober as a judge. And we're all jumping about, and he was like, "What's all this about?" He didn't have a clue what it meant,
Yeah,
So,
he just didn't know.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely
amazing.
brilliant day.
That's just amazing.
That is fantastic that you actually managed to get there on time. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, at one point we stopped at a service station because we're all struggling anyway. You can imagine, hungover, and we just said it's not happening. We're not going to make it. We're never going to make it. But we did literally 5 seconds before kickoff. We sat on our seats at Wembley. But yeah, amazing.
And I tell you what, if you think we were looking at each other in disbelief when we got promoted to the Championship, you should have seen us when we got promoted to the Premier League.
Yeah,
took like 5 months to sink in.
Was it 2 or 3 years later? Is that right?
Yeah, 2010, 3 years later. Yeah,
3 years later. Quite
absolutely
incredible.
bonkers.
Just
so
it's taken us 30 years, to get over 30 years to get out of the lower league. So
and what was the other song? It was "Are You Watching PNE," wasn't it? So it's obviously Preston with big rivals. We're all looking around going, "What are they singing?" And I was saying to the lads, "PNE, that's Preston, that's their big rivals." But I remember that echoing around that end of Wembley.
So the last sort of Oxford playoff we didn't play you in the playoffs, but going back to like 1996, we remember we were looking for automatic promotion that year, and it all sort of went wrong. I think starting at Oxford.
No, it all went very right. I think you'll find.
It did, yes.
So
we had a great goal disallowed from Andy Morrison, which I still can never understand why it was disallowed.
And it really took us from 1996 until 2007 to get over that and get back in that same position again. So that was
and that was the season, I think, wasn't it? Joey Beecham, who's a bit of an Oxford legend, although he went and played for Swindon for a while, which we try and forget that. He scored an absolute screamer at our place. It has been voted as the best goal of all time at the Manor, our old ground.
Oh, really?
He took it on the chest and volleyed it from 30 yards out. So I'm pretty sure that season.
Because I was down. It was pretty late on in the game. It was pretty much into injury time, I think. And all I can remember is just seeing the whole Oxford going mental and we were down.
Yeah, I believe so. So, but what I will just quickly say is my other connection with Blackpool before that was the season before. We played you up at your place. And the landlord of the pub where we used to go, years ago, he was a massive Blackpool fan. He said, "We'll go to the game. We'll go to the game." And off we went. And we went to the game. And it was raining all day. And Josh said, and we said, "Josh, will the game be on?" And he said, "We've never had a game cancelled at Blackpool because of a waterlogged pitch. It's a sandy soil, always drains." He said, it won't be cancelled. We get to Blackpool, get in the pub, and everyone's saying the game's in jeopardy. There's a pitch inspection. And Josh is like, "Oh, it'd be fine." Well, it probably shouldn't have gone ahead. I mean, the pitch was unplayable in places. But that was the weekend that Owen Oyston, the scandal broke about Owen Oyston. Yeah. And he came on the pitch. It was either at half time or before the game. And he came on the pitch with a microphone and was just protesting his innocence, saying, "Oh, I'm innocent. Nothing. There's these allegations, false, and all that." And he come on the pitch, and I can't repeat the chanting from the Oxford end. It was pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Pretty non-family friendly, but and that kind of was kick-started all the scandal that I think you guys all kind of experienced then for a number of years after, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a weird times actually, because I was just reading old Gazette articles about that match, and I was like, I can't believe what I was reading, because I don't remember that. I don't remember him coming on the pitch and all the Blackpool fans were singing out in support of him, like, because we couldn't believe that he'd done what he'd been accused of, and it was really crazy now looking back.
We stopped off on the journey up, and it was in the Sun. It was in all the red top newspapers about the Blackpool chairman, and we were pulling Josh, the guy, the Blackpool fans' leg. We're like, "Look at this," and he was like, "Oh, I don't know what that's about." And then we get to the ground, and he came out with a microphone, and they were all cheering and singing his name. But bizarre.
Because
we beat us that day as well. He beat us 2-1 that day.
Yeah. Well, and moving on to sort of more recent times, because we don't like talking about that family on this station. So between sort of 1996 and now, when we come to actually play you in the playoffs, so you ended up in non-league. So how did that happen?
Oh crikey! How long have you got, Jane? I mean, if I'm honest, I live next door to a Swindon fan, and we've had a good season, really. Pulling his leg plenty, but I feel for clubs who are under poor ownership and badly run, if I'm honest. The Berries and and the likes, clubs like that, you know, and we were no different. We had Robert Maxwell as our chairman going back to the 80s, which, if I'm honest, gave us our glory days. We won the League Cup in 86. And kind of his legacy sort of lingered at the club for a long time. And if I'm honest, it kind of probably took 5 or 10 years for that to finally reach that point where really we were so poor on the pitch, on and off the pitch, really. You know, we had the owner of the ground and the club, who still owns the ground now. So we don't even own our ground still. So we're achieving really above what we should achieve, with the fact we have to pay him about £1 million a year just to play in the ground. You know, and his ownership of the club wasn't great. We had a lot of managers. We had a lot of issues with, you know, with various things happening on and off the field. And it culminated in, we got Jim Smith back in, legend of Oxford, back in to try and save us. And we were on a reasonably good run with a caretaker manager, and they replaced him with Jim Smith. And we went down. We got relegated, and we got back in 2010. So we had 4 seasons in the conference. But if I'm honest, and I've said this to a lot of people, is that certainly I can speak for myself, it kind of reignited my love for the club, really, that we knew that we were really at, you know, close to going completely bump. Honestly, we were close to being a berry. And it made you think, well, you either follow the club or you don't. And loads of us did. And the years in the conference were desperate at times. Some of the games we lost, some of the places we were going to. But it was a bit of a rebirth for the club. And if I'm honest, since Chris Wilder took over 2008, the club hasn't looked back, really. You know, we've been on a steady rise, and obviously we lost in the playoffs last season. But if I'm honest, it was probably maybe a bit too soon for us. But so we still probably feel a little bit like that now, if I'm honest.
How are you feeling at the moment? Because obviously you looked at one stage where you've blown it, especially when we beat you down there. You didn't look like you'd ever get, you know, you played so many more games than everybody else, and I couldn't really see you being a playoff team. And then of course you've come into it. So what's the feeling in Oxford? Well,
I would say that we're optimistic, as in, you've got to be, haven't you? It's one of 4 teams. You've got a 25% chance. I think out of the 4 teams, both of us are the teams in form. I think that Sunderland and Lincoln haven't had a great couple of months. Sunderland particularly, and I'd love nothing more to see them drop down, if I'm honest. Nothing personal against Sunderland, but they just got that. They're like Pompey, aren't they? They got that delusion about being this huge club. And who's to say they're bigger than Blackpool? Look at Blackpool's history, you know. So we're quietly confident, but almost with an air of, you know, we've kind of got not nothing to lose, but we weren't expecting really for the results to pan out the way they did, for Pompey to lose last weekend and us to beat Burton as comfortably as we did. We're quietly confident. Maybe it's a bit like the analogy of a golfer who's, you know, the sick golfer. You know, beware of the sick golfer. And the teams that bowl into the playoffs. Look at Wycombe last year. Yeah. I didn't give Wycombe a chance, if I'm honest, and they ended up beating us at Wembley. I mean, you know, all credit to them, but I mean, they're an awful side to watch, but they were effective and they did the job. But so we're confident. I mean, we're buzzing, if I'm honest. I'm wondering if us playing at home is an advantage for us, because, you know, we've not been at a game since October, November, whatever it is. So you can imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like Tuesday. And I think we've got to make it count on Tuesday, really. But, you know, we're a team that we score a lot of goals. We've scored, I think, is it something like Carl Robinson's serving a touchline ban, which is great for us, because every time he does that, we win.
And what did he do to get that, by the way?
Well, that's the other thing as well. I mean, I could take all day telling you about it, but we played at Sunderland about a month ago, Easter, and it was really spiky. It was really nasty. Max Power scored a goal for Sunderland and slid on his knees right in front of our coach, you know, our managers. Robinson had been sent to the stand. Trevor Kettle was refereeing, so you can imagine what it was like. And I think Robinson probably swore and said something he should have said, but you know what he's like. He's always been that way on the touchline. And I think because of his previous misdemeanors, the FA have probably said, right, enough's enough, and they gave him a 4-game ban from the touchline. So he was sat in the stand on Sunday last week, and we won 4-0. So he'll be in the stand for both of our games. And obviously he'll be in the stand for Wembley when we win and beat you and get to Wembley. So
right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Who knows? May the best team win. That's all we can say, really. And of course,
absolutely.
That, you know, it can be that case of you sneak in on the last day because Blackpool did it to get in the Premier League. So.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if the Sunderland link. I just got this funny feeling that there's a bit of there's no love lost between us and Sunderland after the game we had there, and I almost got a feeling that we might be destined to play them, but who knows? We'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh well, enjoy the games and enjoy being back at the ground on Tuesday, and may the best team win.
Yeah. All right. All the best. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. Wow. He had a better getting there story than I have because
I missed the bit about the Chelsea Dagger song. What was that?
Oh,
relevant?
It was just the song of the sort of the Stag Do was the Chelsea Dagger song, and of course when they got in Wembley, it was a song they play. But I had a very similar actually. Going to see the Tweenies.
You went to see the Tweenies.
Yeah, we took Alexander. It was when he was about 3 or 4 years old. It was a mad Tweenies fan, and they were live. The Tweenies were live at Birmingham, and we're traveling down to Birmingham. Plenty of time, and it started snowing, and everything just stopped on the motorways. And we actually kept going, and kept saying, we might get there in time. Then there was about another hour delay, and we actually got there just for the second half. So we got in for the second half of the show. He never knew. He saw the Tweenies, but we only saw half the show. So they are. At least he got to Wembley on time. So some people have a look, but not me. I dare say we didn't get to see the whole of the Tweenies. Maybe it was a blessing.
Yes. Well, Kieran is eating a hot steak bake. It won't be hot anymore, and hopefully it'll be eaten now. Kieran, that's great.
Yes. MJ Wittard is saying mine are printed and in the safe. Happy to print tickets for those without printers. Or with issues.
Oh, that's a kind offer.
That is very kind, isn't it? Ryan, Stephen, Francis Sonley. It's just call you Ryan, it'd be easier. It all started off with a 1-0 defeat towards Plymouth Argyle, and hopefully it's going to be ended up back in the Championship. Yes, it did all end up. It did all start.
Yeah. Oh God, we were shit, weren't we, at the start of the season? God, yeah, we've come on since then. It was it was awful start of the season.
I didn't think we were that bad. We just had that ridiculous keeper. Debut where he was played like Gordon Banks on the day. Stephen Roberts says it's not a Saturday without Lee saying it's a goal and Jane bollocking him.
Oh, go on, put it up 1-0.
It's a goal.
No, it's not. It's not a goal. Don't say it's a goal. Until we see a goal, there aren't going to be any goals today. Tuesday. Right. It'll be good on Tuesday because we're in this different room at the Armfield Club, so we'll be able to hear from the other room. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it as well. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear it, but the pub obviously will explode when the goals go in. Hopefully there will be goals. So that should be kind of a great atmosphere.
So those that are waiting to come in, it is a different link now. So
it's not. It's the same one.
No, it's different. Just checked it's totally different.
Well, Danny got in.
I know, but he was already in somehow, so it's okay. But it's a different number. So yes, so you want to just carry on while I just send these links out to the guys that are coming in.
Yes. Termally Tange says, any suggestion for songs for Oxford stand-bound manager? And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
Oh, maybe, yes.
Yes.
But, apparently the last time he had a 2-match ban, there was they won 10-0 over the 2 games. So that's a bit worrying, isn't it? So.
Steve, no, I wouldn't have a pint in each if I was doing if I'm doing like a pub crawl. I tend to have a half in each, but I think 7 would be extreme before a match. That would be 7 halves, 3.5 pints. Actually, that's not too bad. I'd normally have 3 pints before a match anyway. So yeah, I might cut out the Bloomfield. But there's a long walk in between as well, so you kind of it's not really long enough to sober up, is it? But I like to do a lot of walking on these crawls. Although someone has pointed out to me that there is a bus, and you can get on Blackpool Transport now. You can use your contact list, and you don't have to have cash, which is always a bit of a faff, isn't it, when you're on the buses? And you can get a day pass on your phone. So this all sounds quite exciting. So I might do that as well.
Right, we've got So I've just sent the link out. We've got Jake here from the Stacey West. We'll bring him in because he's
okay. Should we just catch up on the comments before we bring Jake in?
Jake in, I know he's waiting there. He'll be able to hear us. So no, we're just going to go through all the comments quickly. Well, we've got both of them in. We'll just bring them both in now because they're both in. I know Jake, he's not got very long. So
Oh, okay.
let's add them in. So we're going to add Jake in from the Stacey West, Lincoln fan, and good afternoon.
Hello again, Jake.
Sorry, it's been
Hello,
a bit
strangers.
of a issues and we had to restart. So it's a different stream link. I didn't realise until we just got until we ended with Danny. I saw your message. So and there we are. We've got another Jake, Jakey, and he is from Sunderland Fan TV. Good afternoon.
How are we doing?
We're doing fine. Right, who should we? We'll start with Jakey because you think we've got too long to go. So Sunderland, you're playing each other. We'll start with Sunderland, the massive team, the big team in the
Premier League team don't belong in League One. It's an admin error, surely. What are you even doing here?
How's it?
I'll say thanks.
How are you feeling in Sunderland at the moment?
Well, I'm actually living in North London, mate. So how am I feeling being a Sunderland fan in North London? Nervous as hell because I get ripped by my mates every time we don't win promotion out of this league. So hopefully third time lucky, to be honest. So I'm very, very nervous going into the first leg at Sinsel Bank on Wednesday, but hopefully we put in a decent performance compared to what we've been showing up the last few weeks and make our life a whole lot easier going into the second leg at the Stadium of Light. But the way how we do things, I think it will go right to the wire, and I think it will be decided more or less in that second game.
Are you able to go to the second game at the Stadium of Light?
No, missed out on a ticket, unfortunately. 10,000 were on sale. I wasn't one of the lucky ones, unfortunately, but can't have it always. Listen, I'd much rather be back when we can get more in next season, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
in front of the television screen once again, but hopefully we can get back to some sort of normality next season.
And maybe you'll get a ticket for Wembley. Who knows?
Yeah.
Should you get there?
We're doing a live stream as well with you. If you ever go onto Sunderland Fan TV, they have a live stream with quite a few of you on, don't they? About 4 of you watching it. Is it 3 or 4? 4 on your live streams.
Jakey on tour.
Jakey.
Result you back to my bedroom.
Oh,
there
yes,
we go.
There we are. That's very
That's
Sunderland, isn't it? Yeah, that's proper Sunderland bedroom, that, isn't it?
I'm expecting his accent to have changed as well now. He's amidst all his Sunderland memory.
It's still the same.
So how come you're Sunderland? You obviously live in London.
Father's from County Durham. He used to have a season ticket back in the 70s. My mum's from Roker, grew up a few streets away from our previous home, Roker Park. So ran in the family, and where I knew it was the club for me was for my christening. A present was organised for me from another family member where when we were building the Stadium of Light, you could get your name engraved onto one of the bricks that were formed to build the stadium itself. And mine's top row, panel 17. And when I saw that was done, there's only one club for me, to be honest. And it doesn't matter what times we'll be going through, whether it will be good, bad, that brick will always be there. So I can't change to another team now, to be honest.
No.
They're very crafty football clubs, I think, in the way that they sort of get you and grab you and keep you there forever. It's a bit of a bugbear of mine, actually, at the moment, because I don't know. I think they put you through a lot and they take you for granted a lot sometimes, and it's not so easy to get away, is it? You're kind of stuck.
They're going around all the maternity wards with chocolates for the mothers, trying to get you in early. Maybe going to prenatal classes or something just to suck kids. I don't know. Is my microphone going in and out? Is it on your headphones? It's just my headphones.
A little bit, Lee. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm going in and out. I don't know why that is. I don't know why. Should be working fine.
Oh, we haven't had tech issues for a good half hour, have we? So
hang on. There we are.
it's not turned on.
There we are.
Oh, there we are.
Is that better now? Can everybody hear me now? Jesus. This is the greatest stream ever, isn't it? The microphones are half on and half off. So apologies for that, folks. I was wondering why I kept going in and out. But anyway, I'm back there now. Loud and clear. So in Sunderland, is that the feeling then it's going to go, like you say, it's going to go to the 2 games. It's going to all end up on that final game. You're confident, Sunderland? You've had 1 Wembley trip already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason why we can't do it again. I'm confident for the semi, but in terms of winning the playoffs in general, I think it might be a step too far, but I'm only taking into account from the way we have finished the season. I think we have to trust in the position we did end up in, which was fourth, and we've done that for a reason. I think we went on a decent spell at the turn of the year under Lee Johnson, but it faded off at the worst possible time towards the end. But hopefully you can rekindle that winning spirit we had in that brilliant run we went on and go into the playoffs, play with more confidence, play with more freedom, and win at Wembley for the second time this season.
So how did you get on against Lincoln in the league games this season?
At the first game, Jake's got his head in his hands. It was one of Lee Johnson's first in charge, bumping 4-0 win for us that day. Which, to be fair, Lincoln started the brighter team, to be honest. Almost caught us out on the counter attack. I think it was George Grant rounded the keeper and hit the side netting. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jake. And then after that, it was brilliant performances from the likes of Chris Maguire, Charlie Wyke, who was on the score sheet twice that day, and Jack Diamond. Jack Diamond had an excellent game as well. And back at the Stadium of Light, though, we were 1-0 up at half-time, a Callum McFadzean header, and then second half, Lincoln had us on the ropes, to be honest, deserved to win the game. It ended up 1-1, Anthony Scully scoring a decent finish after brilliant link-up play from their forward. And yeah, to be honest, we were coming out of that game happy with a point, to be honest. And we actually played Lincoln 3 times this season, played them in the EFL Trophy semi-final as well. That was a 1-1 draw, and a Charlie Wyke header took the game late on to penalty kicks. There was no extra time, and I can't remember who missed for you, Jake, but we managed to net all 5 that evening.
I don't want to talk about it.
Grant Ledbetter with the winning spot kick, bottom corner, sending us to Wembley to beat Tranmere Rovers in the final.
Wow. So you're probably happy with Lincoln then in the semi-finals. And who would you be looking, should you get past Lincoln, who would you prefer in the final?
To be honest, I think we can't afford to look at who you much rather get between the likes of Oxford and Blackpool. Listen, whoever you get at the end of the day, it's all about what you do as a team and sticking to your game plan and not worrying too much about what the opposition could serve up on their day. And we just have to think with that attitude, to be honest. And whether it's Blackpool, who've done the double over us this season, even though I didn't think they were that convincing in the 2-1-0 wins they picked up, and Oxford as well. I think even we did beat Oxford twice this season at the Stadium of Light. They had us on the ropes at times. They were a goal up in that game. We went on to win 3-1, but they're going to be without their motivational manager in Carl Robinson on the touchline, providing that extra bit of team spirit that the players could do with going into the playoffs, I must say. But whoever we get, it's just about what we do at the end. And I've got confidence right now. I've got confidence, but that could all go out the window come Thursday morning when I wake up knowing the result of how we've got on at Sinsel Bank.
What we've noticed with Sunderland a lot is that you're very much a last 10-minute team, aren't you? You seem to come right at the end. You did it again, on the last game of the season, didn't you? Where you scored in injury time again. You seem to be able to pull it out the bag at the back end of games, don't you? Which is a good quality to have, I suppose. It's one of those things where you can fight back. Would that be fair in saying that to you? Do you always feel like you can get a goal back?
Yeah, of course. It's a never give up attitude since Lee Johnson's come in. It's been, attacking at times because he likes to switch his team up a little bit when things are not going the way he thinks they're going, and particularly early on in the second half, rather than Phil Parkinson, who would leave it very late on to make substitutions. And that tactic, I think's worked, and I think we do like to go for it a little bit more late on in games rather than settling for just the 1 point and not conceding again. I think we want to push on for that extra goal. And all I'll say to Jake is it's going to be a late drama in both games, I would think.
Well, there we are. Well, we'll find out what Jake's thinking now. Good afternoon, Jake. You listen
Hello
to all
again.
that. Obviously, Sunderland a bit of a hoodoo team.
I'll have to leave it there because
Okay.
I have to head out in a bit. But thank you so much for having me on, and I wish
Okay.
you all the best in the
And
playoffs, guys.
if you
Yeah.
want to follow the Sunderland, see how they go on, it's there on his thing. It's SAFC Fan TV.
Thank you, Jakey.
Thank you,
No
JK.
worries. How are the lads? Keep it
All right. Enjoy your afternoon. Thank you. Right.
How old are Sunderland fan from London?
Yes, it's a little bit like Thogden being a Bolton fan from London as well. It's just, it's how it is, isn't it? Well, he was a Bolton fan from London. I don't know what he is now. He's no longer a fan of anybody. He's just a
yeah.
He's just a something.
There is a word for him, yes. Hello, Jake. Nice to have you back on. We like Jake, don't we?
Hello,
We do like
hello
Jake.
all.
So yeah, you listen to all that from the Sunderland fan. It sounds like they've got the beating of you there quite easy, would you say?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've got no chance, have we? They're a Premier League club, guys. We don't stand a chance. We're going to beat 10-0 over both legs, hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully that's not going to be the case for Lincoln. How are you all feeling there? How's your, just first of all, tell us about your season, because it's been a bit of a, as we would say in Blackpool, a roller coaster ride of a season, something that we're quite used to here. But if I remember rightly, you were flying top of the league at early doors.
And then it all went a bit wrong.
And it all went a bit Pete Tong, didn't
it? Yes, my great uncle Pete, obviously. Yeah, so as you say, we were sort of top two most of the season, really. We started the season off incredibly well. We beat yourselves in a really good game at Bloomfield Road. We beat Oxford. We beat Charlton. Teams that I thought were going to finish above us this year. And then, we were really consistent between then and Christmas. And then, sort of just after the January transfer window finished, we accumulated an awful lot of injuries. So George Grant, probably one of our better players, was out injured. We had Joe Walsh out injured. We had Adam Jackson out injured. Then we caught COVID, which is just what you want in the back end of the season. So it's been a roller coaster. We're disappointed that we're in the playoffs. Given the sort of the average position we were in over the course of the season, was second. But I mean, we've got to face the facts really that we're in this end of season lottery. We're not very good at them. I think I've seen Lincoln fail in about 4 playoff campaigns since I've started supporting the club. So it would be nice to see them win one, but not very confident. But no, it's been a good season. Obviously, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, that decision away at Peterborough, the penalty, which I'm sure you've seen.
Just tell people about it. Anybody who hasn't seen it. So it was a late penalty, wasn't it? Were you winning? What was the score there? Was it 3-0?
We were 3 so basically we were
3-0.
We were 7 points behind Peterborough. We had a game in hand on them, and we had them to play. So we were 3-0 up at Peterborough, cruising. Obviously, they bring on Dembele, Johnson, Clark, Harris. They go 3-2 with about 50 to play. We look like we've weathered the storm out. At 3-1, we miss a really good opportunity. Tom Hopper puts one over the bar. You think, right, well, posh. They'll score about 8 more goals. But they were sort of throwing the kitchen sink at it, the kitchen cupboard, the bread machine, all of that sort of stuff. And they put a ball into the box. And Sammy Schmoddick, who's a player I actually really like, he always performs against Lincoln, whether he was at Colchester or whether he was at Peterborough. And I think to put that he slipped would be quite polite. He put his foot on the ball, fell over, nudged into our lad on the way down, Anthony Scully, and Busby, the referee, gave probably the worst decision I think I've ever seen in a men's professional game. And obviously they score the penalty, they get a point, we can't catch them. There goes our automatic promotion hopes. So that was, and then it gave us a bit. It
knocked you a bit as well, didn't it? It seemed to knock the team, similar to how losing the 2 goals against you at Lincoln did to us, where we lost against Rochdale and Shrewsbury, which you would have never thought of. It just seemed to knock our confidence in, and it's a mental thing, isn't it? It upsets you really inside, doesn't it? Because obviously, like you say, the team are probably still thinking we have got a chance here of automatic. And that penalty takes it out of your hands, and you're now in the playoffs, and it's lifting yourself up from that thinking that you were going to do it automatic.
I mean, I've got a story about that as well. There's obviously the where I live, it's predominantly Peterborough fans. There's a lot of posh fans about, and
Oh no.
as well, I used to work at a co-op, and there used to be a guy who worked at a Tesco's, and he was a massive posh fan. You know, we were giving it big between the season, the both of us. And the day after, we ordered a Tesco shop on a Sunday after the game on the Saturday, and the posh fan that I know from work showed up, and I was thinking, oh my God. So here I am putting these groceries away, and he's just reminding me. He just goes, you know, Jonathan Clark Harris, Dembele, so it was an extra kick in the teeth, really. So I can no longer go out in public. I've decided.
Oh,
oh no! Well,
So,
hopefully.
how far away is it, Peterborough, from?
Peter, well, I live in a place called Boston, which is sort of in the middle of Lincoln and Peterborough. So it's
So how
sort
far
of,
are they away? Like, you know, geographically, how many miles is it from?
Lincoln's about 40, and Peterborough's probably about 35. So it's sort of like
okay.
right in this middle catchment area. But obviously, there's Boston United, who are some smaller, relevant little club that seem to have dreams about us. But yeah, it obviously, you know, you saw we got the point that confirmed the playoffs, but then we went to Charlton and treated it like a pre-season game. You know, I don't know how you guys were after you confirmed the playoffs, but we sort of just played second string teams, a bit scared that we were going to get injuries.
We did make a few changes, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We played quite a lot. You know,
put our reserve keeper in who we hadn't seen.
Reserve keeper. He started with a young 18-year-old striker who's only come on for 5 minutes every now and again. He was more just like a name on the bench, but he started.
But then we played Bristol Rovers, who were already relegated, and they got like a 17-year-old debutant in goal as well. So they were sort of doing the same kind of thing, really. But we looked all right. You know, we just kept professional. They're all, anyone who comes into our team's good. But your injuries have all cleared up now. You're back to full strength, are you, at Lincoln?
Yeah, we've got a fully fit squad for the first time this season. Everyone's available. You know,
that gives you a chance, Jake.
George Grant is the one that I've spoken to you guys on numerous occasions, and he's so influential. Liam Bricutt's back as well. He had a really good game. I can seem to remember away at Bloomfield Road. They're all coming back, which really, the experienced players were the ones that were injured, and you could tell we were fielding teams of an average age of about 21, 22, and you could tell the inexperience, especially at Charlton. You know, we played a really a young side, but these players like Bricutt, Walsh, Grant coming back in to add experience to the really talented set of youth players we've got. We could be a match for anybody on our day, and I think Sunderland probably should give us a bit more respect. So we should have to wait and see.
Well, I'll tell you what, you'll do well to still have a fully fit squad after 2 legs against Sunderland. I'll tell you that for nothing.
They are a bit
the brutes.
They are a bit brutal. Yeah, we found it. You know, obviously, I was mentioning on the stream the other day that Daniel Gretterson, you know, our defender, he was taking all sorts of hammer, wasn't he?
He was.
Every 5 minutes, we're bringing our trainer and getting him up again on his feet, and then in the end, he had to go because they dislocated his elbow.
Yeah.
So it was like, God, he had a real rough, tough game.
I think our goalkeeper landed on top of him at one point as well. So he did have a bit of a game.
Yeah, he was really in the wars, but there was loads of really tasty tackles.
Yeah, they're the most brutal side, I think, that we've played this season. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that in your games.
I think Northampton were the team that we sort of came up against. They were under Keith Curl at the time. I'm not sure if you guys have played them when they were under the old management team.
I think we might have done, didn't we, early on? But the last game, they were very, you know, they'd gone, their heads had gone.
Yeah, they needed to win to stay up, and they just didn't even bother turning up.
They didn't really look like
weird,
they were trying as hard as you thought they would have tried, did they? And you know, it was really quite an unusual game because we were expecting it to be, you know, really hard, like, you know, Rochdale, where they didn't give us an inch, but no, we didn't find them. We found them very poor.
Yeah, Lewis Monson was the guy who scored the. It was allowed about 10 seconds in the Blackpool penalty area at Bloomfield Road. He got a massive gash underneath his eye from an elbow that the referee didn't even deem to be a foul. So, it sort of shows you the standards of the referee. And you've probably come to me and talk about refereeing decisions in both of the games between our clubs this year.
I think we're all the same in this division. The referees, have you noticed? We've commented on it quite a few times that some of the referees just look like they've been sat at home not doing any exercise at all, because there was one guy that was definitely had a shirt on that was one size or two small, when he was like bulging out all over the place. And we had a couple for the other game.
We've had a few linesmen
like Dad's
in the
Army.
60s,
There were linesmen that honestly, he did look 60-year-old, didn't he? The linesman, and they're not really been the best. They're not. They're not that standard of referees. I'm quite surprised, but I suppose I don't know whether they can't get them because of COVID and all this sort of stuff.
I don't know. But anyway, good luck in your semi-final. It's difficult for me because I kind of want to play you, but I don't want to play you. I want you to win and get to Wembley for you, because we like Lincoln. I sort of fell in love with Lincoln when I visited a couple of seasons ago. But I actually want to play Sunderland if we get through to the final, because I know we can beat them. I'm not so sure about you. So it's a tricky one, really. But good luck in your semi-finals. I hope you enjoy it and get through it unscathed, if that's at all possible.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going. I didn't manage to get a ticket to the home game, which is a bit disappointing.
No.
So we have about 6,000 season ticket holders, and only 3,000 have managed to get a seat. So but I'm going to go on Ben Natman's channel. I'm sure you know Ben.
Yeah.
We're going to do a live watch along of the game. So
excellent.
Feel free to come over and watch me have an absolute nightmare for
because yours is a different day, isn't it? So we can
Wednesday,
watch
Wednesday. Oh yeah, well we'll pop into that then on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we'll have a look how it's going for you. I mean, good luck. You know what I mean? It's you are a team we can't beat, so we kind of don't want you. But then again, we've got to beat you sometime. And Sunderland, they haven't beaten us, and you've got to beat you sometime. So we may be wishing for Sunderland, and then wish we hadn't got Sunderland. So you can't.
We're just going to get past Oxford first, haven't we?
Yeah, we have to get. And this isn't looking as easy as we thought it was, because we thought we'd be getting Portsmouth, and they look great. We're rubbing our hands at Portsmouth, but they just didn't look a good side. Now we've got Oxford, who had to go and do it on the last day. So,
it's not going to be exciting, though, isn't it? I've no idea how it's going to go. This one, it'll be an interesting.
At least we're in him.
We are,
absolutely.
Better than Cod's vlogs.
Right.
He'll be watching.
We'd love to give him a bit of stick, Ben.
Yeah, of course. Give him a load of stick. He loves it.
He's doing a theft and glory seeking on bigger games than his club, isn't he? Doing a watch alongs on the set.
He's having to move up. He's having to abandon Fleetwood.
Upscale.
He's a Blackpool fan deep down, isn't he? Really?
Don't say that.
We can't.
He's not actually, to be honest, but bless him. But he was taken to a Blackpool game when he was a kid. I think his stepdad or whatever is a Blackpool fan or something. So he has to do all the Fleetwood now with him because he helps him with the cameras and stuff. But I think he had there's a picture of him when he was young in a Blackpool kit, but he's only like 8 years old. He won't remember that.
It's not like he had a choice back then, really.
Yeah, but he won't remember it. He won't ever remember going. And of course, he's gone to Fleetwood when Blackpool fans weren't going to matches. So, if you think from say, I don't know, 11 to 16, he's
one that got away, really, isn't he? When you think about it, there's so many fans we probably lost during that boycott, who kids especially.
Yeah, sure.
Sort of lost almost a generation there, really, haven't we? Which is sad. But good luck. Well, good luck with your streams, and good luck in the matches, and I hope you enjoy them, and hopefully see you at Wembley.
And make sure, folks, if you're watching this, subscribe to Jake's channel. It's the Stacey West podcast.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Thanks, Jake. Nice to see you.
Bye, Jake. Bye, Jake.
Oh, we do like Jake.
Yeah, he's so lovely, though, isn't he? We don't want to beat him.
But we will, hopefully. Well, maybe we won't even play them. If Sunderland beat them, then we don't have to beat them, will we?
Right, we need to get through these comments very quickly.
FK's here.
Somebody was saying, Nigel S. was saying, how come Janie's loud and Lee is barely audible? That's because Lee's microphone wasn't turned on. So you were hearing me through her microphone, which is over there. So sorry, honestly, talk about technical problems. I'll just delete this stream from YouTube.
It's not even like we don't have it when we're doing the vlogs on the move as well, because I always used to have sound issues and whatnot, didn't I?
Yeah, it's just honestly technology.
It's not as easy as it looks, This
you think
nonsense.
It's easy? Yeah,
we don't just sit here and talk nonsense. There's actually stuff around us facilitating all this.
There is, and sometimes we get it wrong.
We don't have an IT department here. It's all us. It's all him actually, which I'm not saying more.
All in
I don't get involved, otherwise I'll just be doing everything. So.
Freddie's saying the pool are going up.
The pool are going up. The pool are going up. And now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us. The pool are going up.
FK is here. Just got my tickets for Friday.
Excellent.
I'll be seeing you too. We're going up. I know you told us so.
Brilliant.
Well, hope you're right.
Well,
We're not
hopefully
there
we'll get
yet.
to see you
We're
on
not there
Friday.
yet.
We'll be around. We're in the South Stand. I don't know where you're going to be, but it would be nice to see you.
We should have asked him that question. Stephen Roberts says, as an Oxford fan, was he not worried that he's got the worst team to play over 2 legs? I never asked him that, did we? But yes, it is a tricky one. Oh, Harry Wake is here. Good afternoon, Harry.
Hey, Hazza.
And a guest. Okay.
Yorkshire Seasiders.
Hi, Harry. We are. Before you join, we were saying we're looking to get, or what we're doing on Tuesday for those that have just arrived is it. So this is probably going to be a disaster. But we are going to be live streaming, not from here. So we're going to be live streaming from the Armfield Club.
Is ticket coming?
Anything? Probably not, but he has to look after the house. We have to keep it safe from stray lions or whatever. So we're going to be.
So you get a lot of them in Blackpool.
We're going to be
in case there's a break in at the zoo, break out.
We're going to be streaming from the Armfield Club, but what we also want is fan cams. So anybody that's got a phone that's in a pub, or so obviously like for the Yorkshire Seasiders.
Seasiders.
A lot of you will be in the Yorkshire Seasiders.
Yorkshire Seasiders.
Juicy fruit. So they will all be if you're in a pub, if you're in like the number 3 or the number 10 ale house,
and there's loads of Blackpool fans there. We want to see. Steady on. We want to see what it's like. So let us know. Drop me or Lee a message on the Twitters. And we will send you a link. So on the day when you're watching the match at crucial moments or before, halftime, after, whatever, we can go live to you, bring you into the stream, and we can see what it's like where you are, and share the revelry, and maybe have a chat with you as well. So that would be lovely. So let us know. Just contact me or Lee on Twitter. And are they up there?
They're not, but they were there. It's at Blackpool Jane on Twitter and at Lee Charles TV. It's very simple. At Blackpool Jane, at Lee Charles TV.
Should get a hat with it on.
Yeah. I can put it on the stream now, actually.
Can you?
Yeah, I will do in a minute. Kieran Baines says, just so you know, I want to be a Blackpool fan.
Yay.
No, you do.
Do you know you don't have to be born and bred? No, you don't. You can support whoever you like, and you can change your clubs. It is a thing. I was saying earlier, it kind of bothers me that clubs kind of get you, and there's a lot of, you've got to stay, you've got to be, Blackpool till I die and all this, and they sort of reel you in, and then they treat you like shit. And you're stuck with it because, I'm Blackpool till I die. And there's this whole, thing around football. You can't change your team. You can't have more than one team, whatever. It's bullshit. It's all just stuff that clubs want to get you in, to keep you. And if they don't treat you right, why should you stay? You don't have to.
No,
it's not a thing. So if you want to come and join us,
family, Kieran, as well. It's still like your dad takes. It's not just that. It's not. Listen, I know you're on your bandwagon about this, but quite often it's your dad that takes you to football matches. You became a Blackpool fan. They didn't indoctrinate you into the Blackpool thing. You just became a Blackpool fan.
Well, it's just because I was from here, really. It was the thing.
Where you're born.
But how long did I put up with shit before I stopped going?
Yes, a natural thing for like normal people would be just to say, forget this. Well, let's go and be a Man United fan.
But I was going every match, home and away,
winning
every single match. I'm like an addict. I'm a football addict, Blackpool addict, and it was just I was going to matches and I was crying because I didn't want to be there. I remember going to Leeds, and just I went down at half time, and I was with my friend, and I didn't want to go back up at half time. He said, well, if you don't go back up, I'm not going back up. And he didn't go very often. He really wanted to go back up. I'm like, I just don't want to watch them. I don't know who these players are. I just don't want to be there. I went back up in the stand with him in the end, but I just sat there crying. I remember going to Barnet in the FA Cup. I had to go because it was a new ground, because that's like in my head, you got to go to new grounds. I don't want to be here. I hate it. And someone said, oh, yeah, do you realise it's the 5th anniversary of when we won at Anfield today? I'm like, oh, God. And none of us went back up after half time.
You should have had my dad with you, guy. Honestly, there's a few times I cried at a football match. My dad was just Be so soft. Have a go at me. Look at that. Andy Morel was in and we didn't know. So if you're still in, he's probably gone
Maybe
now.
he's still
They're
here.
saying Chelsea Dagger, brilliant, good times for Andy.
Is that the one?
Yes, it is. Turnley Tan says the Oxford fan speaks well. I wish them the best, but obviously not for this season.
No, not this
Charlie
season.
Nutt did say hi. So we're just catching up on your comments now. So hopefully you're all still here. Lucas Ribbons. Oh, it's like a blue ribbon. Oxford bloke talking about
Do you remember the
Sunderland,
advert?
Portsmouth delusion, immature comment. Oh, blimey.
The guy doing the song, the Blue Ribbon Blues.
The
Blue ribbon's the way for biscuit I always choose. Can't get enough of those blue. And they stopped him singing by giving him a blue ribbon. Oh, thank you.
I kind of remember that, I think.
Anyone else remember that?
Mark Porter reckon it's going to be a Poole versus Lincoln final.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to meet Jake and have a sort of like a bit of a loving with Lincoln down there? And,
yeah. Steve Huntley says, come on the Pool. Come on
the Pool. Come on the Pool.
Wow. Grantee says, footy has been missing its 12th man, that's for sure. It certainly has.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful to be back at Bloomfield Road. I think I was on a podcast last night, which I'll tell you all about later, because I don't want you going over there now, but it should be out today. And I was saying last night that I think that will give us the advantage being at home in the second leg at Bloomfield Road. We made so much noise with just 1,000 of us in for that earlier game this season, but to have 4,000 across all four sides of the ground as well, it's going to be a great atmosphere, and I think that will really lift the boys, and I think that's so important to be at home more than ever this season, to be at home in that second leg.
Yes, he was talking about obviously the first leg being a big advantage for Oxford, and I suppose it will be. I suppose that that big worry is that they do raise their game and they are free scoring and they do get there are heaven forbid the 3-0 up after the first leg, and then we've got to bring them back to.
They're not going to put 3 past Chris Maxwell.
Well, let's hope not.
Daft.
Charlie not to sing a chant. We've done that one. Rye was saying Mike Cooper was making all the saves. Yes, I remember him well. A few people saying the Oxford fan seems very confident, but we all know what can happen when you sneak in the playoffs on the last day. It does give you confidence because you've snuck in there. Something you should have never been in. Really, if Portsmouth had just done their job, we won't be playing him. Phil C says can't wait for Tuesday. What are the key positions you think we'd need to strengthen if the playoff kings come through again this season? Oh, that's a good question.
I think we need something else up front, don't we? Because I don't think Gary Medine's going to stay around. I think he's expensive, and he's not young. So whether he'll be renowned, no, he's a good personality to have around, but
we definitely need a couple of strikers. It's been the big problem.
And Jez, I mean, realistically, how long
enough.
are we going to be able to keep hold of Jez for? We need something else. And obviously, Ellis Sims isn't ours anyway. So
we're going to have.
I think we need a couple of strikers. Certainly, at least 2 strikers.
Oliver Sarkic, if he comes back, Sarkic, wherever he was no good, was he? He was absolutely garbage.
I'd forgotten about him. Yeah.
I can't see Joe Nuttall coming back as a renewed.
No,
unless he's been to some sort of laboratory.
I think at the back, Dan Ballard isn't ours either, is he? And I don't know what the situation is going to be with Jordan Thornley. So possibly, another centre half or 2. There's a market for there. Fullbacks, I'd love to keep them all. To be honest, it doesn't sound like we're going to get to keep Jordan Gabriel.
No.
So maybe we could need a bit of cover over that side. I think, hopefully we'll get to keep, I know Jim's out of contract, isn't he? James Husband, and Luke Garbett as well. So
I'm pretty happy with
we need both
else.
of them. But then Jim can cover at centre half as well, can't he? So you need sort of more of these utility players, don't you?
I mean, you think we're going to have CJ Hamilton back next season.
I'd like another flair player as well, because we've got CJ. And that's kind of it.
Kai out of contract this season, or has he got another year?
I haven't looked at the list lately, to be honest.
Chris Lyle says, I think Blackpool have the squad most capable of surviving in the Championship with obviously a few additions. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, well, the good boys as well, which is going to stand them in good stead, and we'll be able to play better football, won't we? Because it won't be as rugged and dirty as League One. It will actually enjoy it more, won't we? We'll see some lovely free flowing football, and that'd be great. Yeah, it'd be lovely to watch that next season, hopefully in person as well.
Stephen Roberts says he spoke to coaches at the ground yesterday, and there are no injury worries.
Good
That's
out.
good news. And they are eating to go. They wish they could go yesterday.
Yeah, I bet it's such a long time, hasn't it? When they've got used to playing Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, to actually have 10 days off now. It's a big gap, really. It's weird, isn't it?
The edgy ones is here. Hi, Jord. He says 1-1 away to Oxford, then a 3-1 at Bloomfield Road, then go on to batter Lincoln at Wembley. #Dreamer.
Yeah.
Well, we'd all be dreaming of that. We are dreaming. We do think we have got a chance, don't we? I mean, I'm sure everybody this stream is thinking Blackpool got a chance because on our day, we are the best team in the league. Undoubtedly, we are with a better start, and just if we didn't cock up, in those few games, but when Lincoln came back from 2 and we've dropped them 8 points, we could be automatic. But we've done well to get where we are from where we started, and I don't think there's a better coach in the division than Critchley, and I don't think there's a better team overall. Everybody comes into these streams and they're always saying, we've got, and they're just singling out 1 or 2 players. It's always 1 or 2 players. They all say, we've got this guy that can, but we could talk about every single. There's not one single player in Blackpool's, any of the starting 11s that we've seen really that you would say is a weak link.
No, they're all good boys,
good players. You can't. So as an who are they going to mark? Who are they going to mark out the game? You're going to mark out Jerry Yates. You're going to mark out Ellis Sims. Are you going to mark out Kai? Demi Mitchell? It just goes on and on and on.
And then you've got Ollie, of course, coming forward, getting into
Gabriel coming down.
He is destined to get the
Embo coming at you.
Embo, it's Embo, it's Embo, and he's the Lord of the Ball.
So you've got Embo who's coming at you. Embo. Should we just keep saying them? Right. Freddie's saying, is he not invited today? Yes, you can come in later. I'll give you a link. What time is it now? Because
it's 4:25. Goodness me, it's 4 o'clock.
Should we
when I last looked.
Freddie,
let's catch up with the comments first.
Okay, we'll just catch up with the comments, Freddie. Well, we can get him in as well.
He can come in while I'm going to make the tea later.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, Jakey says thanks for the 6 points. So he will be. Who will he be? Shrewsbury? Would you? Oh no, sorry, he's Blackpool. Yeah, thanks for the 6 points. To who's it? Was that
to Jake? Yeah.
Oh, to Jake. Chris Last said, "Would love Posh to splash some cash on capable players like Jerry Yates or George Grant. Come on, Oxford."
Oh,
okay. Cyber Leader is here.
I don't think anyone's got any cash to
we?
splash.
We're fine.
Hello, Cyber Leader. How are you?
As well after your injections
your jab
and stuff.
And did you enjoy your Eid celebrations?
Steve Tomlinson says, "Come on, Pool, just a draw and 2 wins." Nigel S says, "Rather Blackpool got to the final than Oxford, who think they are another big London club."
Do they think they're London? Is it London?
I
always thought everywhere south was London, but I'm learning now.
Charlie Nut loves us. Thank you, Charlie.
I love you too, Charlie. You're a nut if you love us.
Chris Lau says, Lincolnshire opponents have had apologies from 3 referees this season due to dodgy penalties. Get a grip. There we are. Nudges as good as a wink to, not as good as a wink to a blind bat, is it?
Oh, Keegan Parker's in.
Oh,
Keegan
Parker. Keegan Parker. Oh, yeah, Tuesday nights.
Excited for Tuesday night. We're all excited for Tuesday nights. Oh,
yeah, and it needs to get down to the Armfield Club. It could be a live guest. Cyber Leader's playing Brighton today, and he loves Charlton. Brian Thompson said he's a top man, Jake from London.
Oh, you've gone back to English, Brian. That's great. We can understand you now.
Keegan Parker's going for 3-1 to Blackpool on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that would be nice.
He's confident. He's confident.
3 more games left in the Prem.
Right, Freddie's still here. I'm going to put a link in there because it's a different link. Fred, we've had a bit of a nightmare, so just copy that link to there. I'll put that into the stream, and if Freddie can.
So who's going, by the way, on Friday? Anybody got tickets to go to Bloomfield Road on Friday?
Freddie.
And what stand are you in? Tell us all about it. I need to
Yes.
think about my, eating, drinking, toilet regime because it's all different, isn't it? There's going to be queues, and am I wanting to eat there and drink there, and how's that going to work? And I'm going to the pub at lunchtime. And how does that work with logistics? It's just it's hard enough for me when I'm just going down the pub down the road to meet my friend. Like I always forget like my mask or my money or something. So like, what do I need to go to the football? What do we need? What do we need to take? We have to wear a mask during the match, don't we? We need our ticket, and it's going to be a big stress. I think I might need to do a checklist to reduce stress on Friday.
I believe this is
parking.
Just for you. West Brom are relegated, Jane. You know the guy you always choose.
Oh,
and they're facing them on Wednesday.
Oh, right. Well, hopefully you'll be there.
Ryan's not been on. He's been too busy. Well, it's probably a good thing he's not been on because we had all sorts of tech issues on here. But little Matt talks footy. Little Matt.
He featured as a roving reporter's kind of on
He did. He's in the highlights as well. He says, "Hi, Lee and Jane. How's it going? I feel if we get to the final, Sunderland will beat us. There's always that time in the league, and if you just feel Critch won't be able to do it this year, how's Tigger doing? Tigger's fine. I don't know. I think Sunderland can beat us if we don't play well.
But we are the playoff kings, don't forget.
And of course, they'd have to win twice at Wembley in one season, and that is.
Hey, Nick Muller remembers the blue ribbon advert.
Oh, there we are. Remembers. Nick Muller is here. We can say it now, can't we? Our fan
Ipswich!
from Ipswich. We're not commentating. We can say it.
Yeah, we have a day we're allowed to say Ipswich. Should have made it National Ipswich Day, so we can say it. Let's get it all out of our system now, shall we? Just like shake it all out. Ipswich. We can say it today. Ipswich.
We can say it.
Shake it out. Shake out the Ipswich. Shake out the Ipswich.
Certainly, Tangible says we have to hit the ground running in both games.
Yeah, we do. We need to. But the thing that I think we're just very cautious, aren't we? We don't take risks. So that's why I think we don't sort of score early on. Often we just do what we have to do, and I would like to go up.
Kenneth Ward is here. Good afternoon, Kenneth. Afternoon, guys. Hope you're well. 2 big games coming up. Got to win both. Come on, the mighty pool.
Yes, come on.
Certainly, Tangier, the Valley of the Piddle will be repressed. I am represented, I'm pleased to say.
Yay. Oh, excellent.
Great.
What stand you in?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking actually as well. Probably before the Friday game, I may well be in the Armfield Club. I think I've said that on time, before the game. So if anybody wants to come on and give your thoughts, be on the vlog. Make sure you're in the Armfield Club for that one. We'll be doing it from there.
I had a question. Are we sitting together?
Yeah. Where's Yusel? Has he been blocked?
Oh, he's been blocked.
Oh, he's been blocked.
Oh, he's Turkish and male.
Oh yeah, maybe Ryan's took the hard line on him. He was getting.
If he'd just come in and said what he'd had for tea instead of "I'm Turkish and male," if he just said "I'm Turkish and I've had, whatever for tea," that would have been perfectly accessible.
Wow. MJ Whittard is saying he's dropping Charlotte off at school, then hitting the road for the Gold Coast, making a day of it, travelling from Notts to Links border in D Block in the north, though it's always a spy on the cop.
Are you going for a chippy tea before the match?
We are in the Armfield.
We're not. We're in the south.
Well, that is.
Isn't the Armfield the north?
The Armfield is the stand with the massive Armfield lettering on it, which is a stand that we sit in.
I can't see. I'm sat on it.
But when you look at the other side, what does it say? BFC. That's what you see on that far side. It doesn't say Armfield. Have you ever seen it saying Armfield on the north stand? No.
There's no people there.
Did you not even watch my flags video where I take off over the south stand? The Armfield is all in the lettering. We are the seaside. That's the stand. I fly over it with my drone.
Have we still got the Matthews and Mortensen stands?
Just I don't listen to her.
Have we still got the Matthews and Mortensen stands? Because that's what the first two were, weren't they?
I don't.
Was the north used to be the Mortensen stand, or was the west the Matthews?
I think the Mortensen is now the east. Is it the more to the east? I don't really know.
It's all very confusing. I don't know.
But the Armfield.
I haven't been for ages. I've been for like one season out of the last 6. So if I get it wrong, It's just the south, isn't it? The north, the south.
Thomas Pugh is saying 1-0 away win on Tuesday night. You know, we do the Armfield Force Field.
Yeah.
Because we're in the Armfield stand.
I just thought
That's why it's called the
I just
Armfield.
thought it was like the words went together, so I didn't. Well, we've done it here. We're not sat in the Armfield stand here, are we?
Yeah, because
it's not the Tigger Jigger or whatever, is it?
But when it's called the Armfield Force Field, because we're doing what we do in the Armfield Force with the Armfield Force Field in the Armfield stand.
So it wasn't called that before.
No, it was just the force field.
How did I know that?
As Dad would always say, use the force, get the force field out, and then it's become the Armfield Force Field because we're in the Armfield stand.
Oh, okay.
Right. Thomas Pierce says a 1-0 away win on Tuesday night and a big successful night on Friday full of celebrations.
Oh, that would be just wonderful, wouldn't it? It
we
really
don't
would.
want to be crying. We really don't want to be crying on the screen.
No. Cyberlead is asking how many fans allowed in the stadium. It's 25% capacity, which is just over 4,000. We sold 4,000 season tickets with that in mind, really.
They thought that they were going to be restricted to a 25% capacity, so they limited season tickets to the 4,000. That was announced, and that's what made Jane twist my arm into buying 3, because it was like, you're going to need these because we're going to be back in by December, and you're going to, we won't be able to do your vlogs if you can't get in, all that sort of stuff.
So basically, don't panic if you don't have a season ticket, because there will be tickets available. It's like, your older son isn't going to be able to go, and there are other people who aren't going or choosing not to go or whatever, or might not want to travel. So if you don't have a season ticket, you do have a chance.
Yeah, they will go on general sale from Monday, won't they? And you can't buy any extra tickets, can you? No. So we weren't allowed to buy any extra tickets. So they have been allocated, and you've been allocated your seat. So any season ticket holders that don't take up their ticket, they will go on. They will go on general sale. So I think it's on Monday.
No, we've got until close of play Monday to get our tickets as season ticket holders. So hopefully they'll announce something on Tuesday. They'll be in a position then that they'll know how many seats are available.
Yes, I believe says he's got 10,000 allowed back in. Yes, I can.
Oh, when you're in, well, that's great news.
Turley Tangerine says Matthew Stander moved to A block, but will be happy to watch it from the top of the tower if needed. Absolutely.
So the Matthews is the west then?
Is the...
Yeah. The Mortenson's the north?
Yes. Yes, the Mortenson must be there. Well, the Mortenson will be the north, because that's where if you think about it logically, right, where is the Mortenson statue? Behind the north. So that's why it's called.
Where's the Armfield Club?
Where's the Armfield statue?
Where's the Armfield Club?
That's also...
Its logic doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
Where's the Armfield Club? South. Where's it?
South.
The Armfield Club is south of the ground, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
On Bloomfield Road.
Right.
The ground is north of Bloomfield Road, and the Armfield Club is on Bloomfield Road, so it has to be south of the club.
I'm not very good at geography.
We're sort of southwest. It's slightly to the west of the... But it's south.
Matthew stands the west because it's on the wing. That makes sense, doesn't it?
That could well be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he play on that wing? Well, I suppose one half of the game he would have. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. I'm glad you tuned into this, aren't you?
So what's the East called then? It's not the Gene Kelly anymore, is it?
Oh, right. I like this. Stephen Tomlinson says, okay. First of all, we'll do MJ Wittard. It's Lincolnshire Friar, mobile chippy on Thursday night. Not sorted food out yet, but we'll be in the Armfield Club before and after the game. Steve Tomlinson said I have to come home with no voice, or I've let the fans that can't go down. So we're going to be singing all the way through. There's a live domestic here on LCTV.
Always.
Kieran Bates says we might have to time out Lee and Shane.
What have we been fighting again? Oh, we're just over the
Oh God, MJ Wittard said the North is still officially the Stan Mortenson stand. That's always where his statue is, of course. We gave Charlotte's ticket back to the club, so some.
So that's two within just between the two of us.
So there's going to be loads. And of course the Armfield stand is at the south side of the ground. So that's.
Brian's still updating us on all he sells tea.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sal's tea. He's had two day spice marinated skewered mutton, fresh crunchy salad, shredded cabbage, cucumber, pepper rings, red onion, vine tomato on char grill flatbread with a Persian dressing.
That sounds magnificent.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
What a lovely tea he's had. Yeah, Tony Tans is saying it's the West Stand. Sadly, he's got to go. We'll see you later. He's going for a bath and then come up by 8 for the game that they're playing tonight. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, enjoy. Been nice of you to pop in. Good to see you. Always good to have you here. You're always very welcome.
Robert Swell saying, are the tickets that are left, will they be sold at the ground or on the internet? I think they'll be on the internet. I don't think they'll want people queuing in COVID outside the ground. I'll be honest. I think they'll just get them on the internet. I can't see. I mean, you probably can get them at the ground as well, but they won't want everybody piling down.
But also, if you've got to do it electronically so they know who you are, and you've got to print off your own tickets and all sorts.
Yes, Thomas Pugh has confirmed it. The Mortensen stand is the north, and the west is the Stanley Matthews stand, and of course, the south is the Armfield stand because it's got Armfield written in the seats.
I always thought the Armfield was the north because it's like the Muckers, isn't it? And the Armfield Club, and that's why I'm getting confused because they're all in the Armfield Club. I just thought the Armfield stand.
On days like these, what do you say? Raymond Jeffries. Hello, Raymond. Hi, Lee and Jane.
Hello, Raymond.
So I don't know where Freddie is.
Did you send in the link?
I've put it in the.
Did you ADHD?
No, I put it in the stream for him, but I don't think he's got it. Let me see if I can get it to Freddie. Can you just hold the ship for a moment while I just?
Oh, not on the ship again. I'm going to get seasick. I haven't had my tablets to be on the ship. This is not good.
For Freddie,
and I've had a whole bag of fudge before the show as well. This is
a day of stress.
It's not good. It's not good, guys.
So I think that's the one.
I was being so good diet wise, and then it ended up getting this hamper full of sweet treats. And I've had a load of fudge for breakfast, which I thought would set me in the singing mood. I've not done a lot of singing, have I? Should we get some singing going ahead of?
We were
Friday.
going to do something, weren't we, about
But no, it's all right. We can do that. We can still do that ahead of Tuesday. So yes, we can.
Can we not like sing the?
No. So any requests for songs? And I will give you a song. I'll take requests. We can do the Yatesy song. He's Yatesy, Jerry Yatesy. He's Jerry Yatesy. He's Jerry Yatesy.
Oh, you got to do that last. He's Jerry Yatesy. If you missed that, but the real fans outside the ground are
the real fans. Are you saying we're not real?
No, the ones that were there outside the ground. They've adapted a different Jerry Yates song, haven't they? Which was
the real fan. I can't get over that.
He
said I'm not a real fan.
Jerry Yates. So they were singing that outside the ground when he was jumping up and down doing his. I didn't mean the real fans. I meant the fans that were outside.
No, you said it now. You can't take it back.
We're not real fans. We're just part timers. No, we are real fans.
Not our fault.
We have a different song. We have a different song to what they've adapted.
We do. We have different everything.
But I also noticed that they were also singing.
Wesley Houlihan.
Yeah.
Wesley. I got a new song for Bez LaBarlow.
And they were singing Bradley Holmes as well to it on they're saying Bradley Holmes. So
that doesn't fit.
So it just seems to go with everybody, doesn't it? It's
no, it doesn't. Bradley doesn't really know. It's not.
It's adaptable.
It needs to be a Brad.
Why, Jerry?
Because Bradley doesn't go in a song. It doesn't. But it's the way the word is. The letters in the word.
Bradley. Oh.
It just doesn't play off the tongue in that particular song. Raymond is saying my grandson is a massive Blackpool fan. He wants to know who yours and Jane's favourite Blackpool player and why. Well, I'll kick off because I know who mine is. It's Chris Maxwell because I've been going to watch Blackpool for 30 years and he's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen. He's just fantastic. And he what are you interrupting me now?
No.
He's he's just great. He says ball. He's just his reflexes, his brain. He's so alert, and he's not even got like weird goalkeeper eyes. But he just seems to know what's going on, and he saves with his feet. And some of his saves have just been magnificent. He doesn't make. We're not even scared when he comes out of his area anymore. He's just brilliant, and I love him. And I feel he's a safe pair of hands, and he's the captain, and he organises the defence, and he's just great. And he comes across as such a nice boy on the preview show, which we haven't watched yet, by the way.
No.
Who's yours?
I don't think there was one last night.
There was.
Was there?
Yeah.
I'm asking the question that everybody wants to ask actually in the
So
stream.
you
which
got
is,
to answer that question.
What are weird goalkeeper eyes? Just before I get on to answering the question, but weird goalkeeper eyes. What do you mean by that?
My friend used to go out with a prison officer, and she had weird eyes that like prison officers and goalkeepers only those two professions have.
Right.
Where you've got to know what's going on everywhere all the time. So
Like a hawk.
her eyes used to like really dark, like really, it was unnatural. But it's because she was a prison officer and because she needs to be knowing where, just so goalkeepers, he doesn't have those weird goalkeeper eyes, but he still seems to know.
He's aware, isn't he?
Who's your favourite Blackpool player, Lee, and why?
Well, I was going to ask that. When I was interrupting you because I just wanted clarifying. Does he mean our favourite Blackpool football player of all time or our favourite Blackpool player of this season?
Of this season.
Right, because it's not clear.
It's his grandson. How old do you think he is?
Yeah, but it's not.
He's not going to know any other players.
Okay.
If you say Tony Green, he's not going to know who you mean. So, but go on Blackpool team.
Okay, that's corrected. My favourite Blackpool player this season is Kenny Dougal.
Ooh, Kenny Dougal, ooh, Kenny Dougal, ooh, Kenny Dougal, ooh, Kenny Dougal. Why is that, Lee?
Because I just think he's ace, and I think he's the thing that turned Blackpool around. I think Kenny Dougal coming in was the change, and we went from being nobodies to a fantastic team. And I think if Kenny Dougal had not got COVID, we would have got automatic promotion. I think we suffered when he was out, and he struggled a little bit when he came back in. He wasn't quite on form. But yeah.
Are you going to dye the tips of your hair blonde?
I am.
In recognition.
I am. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Should I go blonde on top?
Just the tips, not the roots, because he's got quite long, dark roots, hasn't he? It seems to be like just over one side as well.
Raymond's answered.
Anybody else got any questions for us? We can do a Q&A. They can be about food, about football, about songs, whatever.
Raymond says, my grandson loves Sully Kaikai. Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
why.
I love him
We kind of
too.
love him as well, really. In fact, I tell you what, my favourite player is Chris Maxwell and Garver and husband and John Thornley and Gabriel and Kenny Dougal.
Ekpatata.
I like them all. I've never liked a team as much as I like this one. There's not one single player in that Blackpool team that I don't like. There's not one, honestly.
There's no one. It's like,
there's normally somebody you think he's terrible, don't you? Get him off. Get him off. What's he doing on? Never win with. But there's been nobody like that in this team.
Well, he's got rid of them all, hasn't he? Got rid of all the shit bags.
Yeah, he did get rid of all the shit bags, as Jane would say.
Brian
Thompson says, can anyone do anything with any Pet Shop Boys song?
Let me work on that.
Let me work.
I did it. Yeah, my new Bez Labala song.
Girls.
Because someone mentioned on Facebook about a Pina Colada song, and I'm thinking that'd go really well with We've Got Barili Labala. That would have really gone, wouldn't it? But we're not going to see Bez again.
What name?
His name is Barili Labala, isn't it? His full name. Yeah, his name is.
Well, how did you sing it? Barili. We've got Barili.
We've got Barili Labala.
It's not called Barili.
How do you know? You just call him Bez. I'm looking at Pet Shop Boys.
Here's Blackpool going to do. She doesn't like Bradley Holmes, which fits perfectly right. But we have to make the guy's name different to what he's actually called to make it fit in your song. There's two.
Right,
double standards. I'm Clark says, is Blackpool going to do well in the playoffs? We hope so, Adam. We really do. Brian Thompson says, talking of eyes like a hawk, literally bumped into a guy at work wearing a high vis holding a hooded hawk.
Oh.
Being extreme ornithophobic, it spoilt my lunch, to be honest. Wow. Maybe it's one of those where they come in to
Where do you work, Brian?
Get rid of
that people can take hawks.
We had to have a hawk flying around Bluefield Road when I did the pitch inspection, trying to get rid of the pigeons, but it didn't work, apparently.
There used to be a pub in Walsall that had like a regular hawk visitor on a Sunday. I don't know why.
Oh, Jake's tongue says he loves to hear Jane have a go at the Dam Busters theme tune, which is a Lincoln staple. It's a staple for us as well, isn't it?
Oh.
Is it? No, it's not really. We don't do We do more the
Name some Blackpool players. You haven't got who haven't we got songs for?
what's a fit in with the well, we've got Kennedy, we've got Stewart, we haven't got Husband, we haven't got Gretterson, we haven't got
It's a
Garbutt,
we could do
haven't
It's a Bun for James Husband.
It's a it's Thomas Puce says, what player would you like to see come in this summer? I haven't got a clue, honestly. I haven't got a clue.
A striker that we like.
We don't really.
Are there any strikers that we like?
We don't really follow any other team.
We don't.
Blackpool, so you'll have to tell us who's good, because we wouldn't. I couldn't tell you who's good. We'll have that guy that Jake Ton keeps going on about, because he's been here, because he's given us a stick about the Dampers song. So who's this player that he really likes at Lincoln? We'll have him. The one that is happy he's back.
We could do someone to Always on My Mind, couldn't we?
Always. That's Elvis.
No, but they did it as well. Pet Shop Boys, number 1, 19.
Yeah, I know they did.
Whatever year it
It was never quite the same as Elvis. Stephen Thomason says, best player is any player in. Well,
yeah, because we'll love them all and they'll all be ace, won't they? Unless they're shitbags, and then we'll get them out straight away.
Always. There's many a player that books that trend, isn't there? That they all sound fantastic when they come in, and then before you know it, they've gone and they're out on loan somewhere and they don't.
Yeah, we need to get rid of the shitbags before we get any more in, really. This is we will have people out of contract. So.
I like that song as well. I agree with MG Wittard that the Tequila song that Tranmere Rovers sang with the drummers was unbelievable.
Oh, Tranmere, yeah.
It just went on and on. It was amazing, wasn't it? It really was a fantastic song, and their drummers were amazing. They just kept it going. They were proper drummers as well, not just banging a big.
They had 3 drummers, didn't they?
They had proper like military drumming going on. It was amazing. Does anyone know what's going on with Bez?
No, we don't. It's all secrets.
The only person that probably does know is Mitch Cook's left foot.
Because he's got access to Critch's diaries.
He has, yeah, he does have. Yeah, in fact, yeah. Honestly, you have to read Mitch Cook's Left Foot blog. We watch it we read it all the time. If you haven't yet subscribed to him, he just writes a blog about it, and it's just fantastic. And he's brought in Critchley's diaries, which is like a spoof of Critchley's diaries, which is just.
But it's quite funny actually, because Critch kind of quoted it, because he was saying, what he was saying about because in Critch's diaries, he said that he'd locked he basically locked Embo in his cellar or something before the game. But like Critch has actually said, I don't think I'll be able to get away with locking him in his cellar for 4 days.
Oh, so he must have been reading. That's brilliant. I hope
so. I don't know whether that's the blogger picking up on something that he said, or he's like read it and. Well, yeah, so that's quite.
Brian Thompson says, question, which current Blackpool player is going to go on to have the most successful career? Success is relative, but going for Dan Ballard.
Ellis Sims, I would say. Yeah. He's come on in leaps and bounds the last few weeks. He's prolific, he's strong, he's powerful, he's learning to hold the ball up well, he's prolific, and at a higher level.
Technically,
great player.
Technically, is he a Blackpool player?
Is he? Well, no, it's Dan Ballard.
That's what I'm saying. Are they technically? If we're talking about Blackpool,
well, he's asking the question and he's answering Dan Ballard. So I'm guessing that loan players do count.
Oh, okay.
In this instance.
Okay. Let me put back in my box again today. But no, I was trying to think like Dan Ballard. Yes, I think he is going to be a successful player, but I think of him more as an Arsenal player. And I think of Ellis Sims really as an Everton player. I know they're with us on loan, but they're not really ours. And I think of the players that are ours. I think Jerry Yates is going to go on to great things. I really do. I think that Dimitri Mitchell, to be honest, will turn out CJ if he gets back his fitness from his broken toe and stuff and his hamstring. Marvin Ekpateta could go on to bigger things, couldn't he? Really. Chris Maxwell is going to be goalie for Wales, surely. He's got to have him in the Wales squad.
I think Love Comes Quickly is an option for like a quick player, but Demi Mitchell doesn't fit into that really. We need someone with one syllable name who's fast that fits into.
Runs quickly.
Oh yeah, runs quickly. Yeah.
Whatever
you do, you just can't stop him. Ooh, ooh. And this opportunities is one that's got options as well. Let's make lots of money.
Well, whilst we like just changing the names of players, we could just say Dem runs quickly. We don't need to say the Demi. We'll just say Dem runs quickly. Oh, whenever he scores, you just can't. I'll leave it to you to think of the song. Brian Thompson says it's a bun.
It's a bun. Do 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 do. It's a bun. Do 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 do.
Brian Thompson, yes, the pigeon was there for pigeon worrying purpose. We're a lot more relaxed when we haven't got a game to comment on. It's so much easier on these streams when you've not got a game to actually comment on. MJ Whittard says, Charlotte says, can we sing Seaside Barmy Army? Yes.
Seaside
Barmy Army.
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 Seaside.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's enough. Chrissy Maxwell.
Oh, Chrissy Maxwell. He used to play for Preston, but
He's all right now. Oh, Chrissy Maxwell. He used to play for Preston, but he's all right now. Matthew Bowden says, I'm looking forward to Tuesday night. Do you think any Blackpool fans will make the trip down?
Yeah, well, I know some Sunderland fans are making the trip down to Lincoln.
You can watch it in the car park, can't you? I know there's a few going to be taking step ladders to look over.
They just need to take a truck, don't they? And then they'll be higher up. I don't know why I'm doing the meerkat.
Go on a bus.
But I don't know if meerkats.
Have a double decker. Park it side on, and you can all watch from the top of the double decker.
Oh yeah.
Well, any coach probably would look over the fence. Would it be high enough? Even just a single.
Yeah,
coach
it's like a double decker bus like we went down.
All stood up in your coach,
that.
looking through the windows. That's the thing. Yorkshire Seasiders, you heard it here first. That's what you need
Yorkshire
to do.
Seasiders.
Arrange a coach trip down to Oxford. Apparently Matthew Bowen says Sunderland fans did it earlier in the season.
We could do it for Rent by the Pet Shop Boys. I'm still on that. You've got me on a thing now. We could like I love you, Junie Bent, for one of our old players there.
Yeah.
So, any other requests? Any other artists?
You pay the rent. Yeah. How could that go? You pay the rent. So how many? You
pay my rent. Junior
pay
Ben.
my
See, it fits. Trust me.
Well, if you make Junior.
To me, your eyes are brown, not blue. To me, there's just no stopping you. To me, we're so in love with you.
Would it go Daniel Garbott?
What?
For you pay the rent. Daniel Garbott.
Don't fit. Luke Garbott, anyway.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, Daniel.
Junior Bent. Keep up.
Gretterson.
Oh, Gretterson now.
No, that doesn't fit. No, it doesn't fit. Dan Gretterson.
Greta, Gretterson. He's going to have like a Viking song, hasn't he?
Well, I have sent Freddie the link, but I don't think he's going to come in.
Are you telling me it's time to go to the kitchen?
It's actually, as we all know, it is coming up to 5-5. We are into injury time.
5-5, crackerjack. Don't forget. Well, you're not going to forget because I haven't even told you yet. But I'm on a podcast I recorded last night. It is on the D3 D4 football, which is I'll tell you who they are. They're a website and podcast dedicated to all things League One and League Two. They're called D3 D4 Football. They've got 17.1k followers on Twitter.
Wow.
And I was on their 2021 playoff preview show. So the first half hour of the show. So I was on. Heard that, yeah. No. So I was on with Rory from Sunderland. And there was an Oxford fan on there as well, and the usual hosts. So if you want to, I will retweet it now. So you can see that.
See how Blackpool Jane did.
So if you want to amuse yourself after we've come off the air, then do have a listen to the first half hour of that show, which I'm on live from my sofa last night.
Thomas Pugh says the preview show is live from 6:30 on the BF channel this week. Is it already been on? Because I had a look for it on Friday. I couldn't see it. It didn't seem to be in the video.
No, it was on. Yeah, it was on.
Okay.
It's a playoff special.
Matthew Bowden says, is there a ballot for the tickets at Bloomfield Road, or did they just go to see?
Well, for the first batch, it's just for season ticket holders, and then they'll see like the people who didn't take up those season tickets. So they will know on Tuesday, and I would expect an announcement on Tuesday about how many tickets are left and how they're going to be allocated, really, because there's not necessarily going to be many, and logistically, whether maybe there'll be a ballot for those, or maybe it'll be first come first served. I don't know how they're going to do that.
The good news is that
season
ticket holders were not allowed to buy any extra tickets. They could only buy their allocated ticket, and their ticket was allocated a seat. So if any season tickets haven't been taken up, they won't have been snapped up by season ticket holders trying to buy more. One of my sons can't go because he's sailing away.
Sail away, sail away,
sail away. She's got her hand up. Go on.
Are we going to be sat next to each other? Have you checked the ticket,
No,
or do we have to be 4 seats apart?
I'm sat in the west. Yes, I don't know if we're sat together.
Like people or does everybody have to sit like 4 seats apart?
I think we'll be sat together. Lucky for you.
I was kind of hoping for the gap, really.
Well, I'm sure you can move one seat. Well, I don't
at
know,
least the great thing is we won't have like heads in our way, and we won't be, bothering anybody when we're filming ourselves during the game.
Yeah, we're not allowed to live stream from the game, so
we'll be talking to the camera and just sort of giving you a little bit of how things work.
MJ Witter said just look at your tickets and it'll tell you.
Yeah, you haven't got yours printed off, have you? Have you got yours on your phone?
No, I haven't, but I've got it. I've saved it to a file on the Mac, so I know where it is.
Get it printed.
I'll get it printed. So yes, we will look at. That's a good bit of advice there for Jay and Witter. There, look at our tickets, and we'll know if we're sat together or whether there's a space in between the numbers.
Well, mine appeared in my inbox when you were out. So.
We want to be together.
We want to be together.
Right, I think that's it. Just to fill you in, if you just come onto the stream now, Tuesday night we are not going to be doing it from here. We're not going to be live streaming and doing our watch along from here. We're going to be doing the watch along in the Armfield Club,
which is at the south end of the ground, which is called the Armfield Stand. I learned that today.
And I was going to say something then about that. Oh yes, and of course we have asked if you're going to be watching the game in a pub and you want to be a fan cam for us, message us on Twitter and I will send you a link which hopefully will work. And we want to see if you're in the number 3 pub or you're in the if you're in the Armfield Club or wherever you are.
Number 10 or in the
10 or
brew room, wherever
any
you
sort
are.
of pub.
If there's a group of Blackpool fans,
Highland Seasiders, Newcastle Seasiders,
Blackpool Association of Supporters in London.
Yes, any of you.
If there's a group of you, we want to see you. We want to bring you into the stream and be part of the collective.
Yes.
Sounding a bit like Borg there.
We are. There's a few late ones coming in. MJ Wittard says, "How does he cope when you?"
I don't know how he got to this age. It just blows my mind that he actually got to this age. I don't know how it happened. I can't explain it.
I just bimble through. Little Matty talks football. So she's tried to change me, but it's not going to work. I did warn her. It's a nightmare.
No, it works. You did the washing yourself last week, and you even matched the socks up. I couldn't believe it when I put them away.
I fixed the sink this week. Come on.
Yeah.
I've tidied. I've swept all the garage out and threw everything in the skip. We're having a new garage roof on. I've done all that. Honestly, I'll get. Hi, Lee and Jane. How is it going? Hope you well. If we get Sunderland in the final, this is little Maxie talks football, of course. If we get Sunderland in the final, I just feel that they'll be too good for us. No, we've already said we won't be. They won't be. Well, they're not going to be too good for us. We're too good.
But they're not.
They're just not.
We have got
two players.
We've beaten them mentally already.
They've got 2 good players. They've got McGeady, and they've got Charlie
Okay.
Wyke. After that, they've got the goalkeeper that's won goal is in team of the season, but he hasn't done as well as Maxi. So that's fake. Who else have they got, Sunderland? What other good players have they got?
I don't know. Tigger
We've got their
Tigger's
best
doing
player.
well. He's just chilling, really.
Yeah,
No,
he is.
that's
He's fine. He's there. Look, you can see him. He's there. Thanks for asking.
He's had his jab actually this week, Tigger. So he's just chilling out. He's trying not to be too.
Yeah, obviously feeling Nostradamus after last season at Donny. Yes. Right. I think there's a couple more to get through. Oh, great game. I said they had a cup final at Highbury and people had to
I've got a feeling that we will have to sit apart because otherwise people will just sit with other people and say, oh, no, it's all right. We're in a bubble. We live together, but they won't. So I think for them to make sure that they will.
And Thompson's going. He says, night, guys. Scottish and male. Just saying.
That's reassuring that you're still Scottish and male. That changes. Be sure to let us know.
Brian. Matthew Bowden says, good luck on Tuesday. Everything is a bonus for Oxford fans as we never expected to be there after the start to the season.
I hope you enjoy it. Slightly less than we do, but I hope you have a little spell and you enjoy.
We never expected to be there after our start either, so we're in the same boat on that because we were more or less bottom of the league after 9 games, weren't we? I think we actually did we hit rock bottom at one time?
Oh, I don't know, but it was all a bit shit for a while, wasn't it?
Brian Thompson saying Sunderland haven't scored against us and we haven't conceded in 7 hours. How can Sunderland be too good for us? Exactly. They can't. So
they're not.
Take that.
Not, facts.
Take that, little Matt talks football. There you are. That's it. Sunderland scored against us and we haven't conceded in 7 hours.
We haven't conceded in 7 hours. What?
No.
Really?
No.
Is that true? Is that like a real thing? God, I didn't know that. Blackpool.
Yeah. We've just had 4 games.
It's just results.
Is that 7 hours, 4 games? 1.5 hours?
4 games, yeah. Shrewsbury last. Oh, wow. Goodness me. So we've only actually conceded 2 goals in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Pretty amazing, actually, isn't it?
It is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. Sometimes we have had Maxi to thank for that stat, though. He has.
But he didn't even play the last game, did he? It was the other fella.
The other guy
more. How do we like him? Quite well. Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for sticking with us to the end. We're way
Have I done all the
over
songs?
next time. Well, can you think of any Pet Shop Boys?
I've done all the Pet Shop Boys.
We've done Embo. We've done Egg Potato.
We've done Who Can You Dougal?
Who Can You Dougal?
We've done Yatesy Yates, Jerry Yatesy. We've done To Me. Oh, I think we've done them all.
Is there anybody else?
We've done them all. I think we're done. Right. Well, we will be back on Tuesday live, hopefully with sound and pictures and maybe some guests and probably a beer. And the Blackpool shirt on Tuesday night it's a 6 o'clock kickoff. What time are we going live? 5 o'clock? Are we maybe? 5-ish? Yeah,
about 5-ish.
5-ish. So tune in. We will be around from 5-ish Tuesday night. Come and join us. Don't forget, if you're going to be in a pub with lots of other people, let us know. Send us a DM in the Twitters and we'll send you a link to come into the stream and show us what it's like where you are. So that's actually good. Yeah, if we go at 5 and then other people can show us around where they are before the match and stuff. So
yeah, but Brian, just before you go, you've sent me a video on your calculation. I have seen it. Do you want me to just before you go? Do you want me to put, or do you mind if I put your video on as a video rather than in the live stream? Would you mind? Would you mind me putting it up as on my channel? I'll just do a little thing about it and just let you talk.
It was a good video. We did watch that, didn't we?
Yeah, no, it's really good. So, but I didn't want to waste it and just lose it in one of these streams somewhere. So if you want me to put your thing up as a video on my channel, if you just let me know if you do. Well, you can message me anyway on here, but tell me if you want me to put it in as a video in itself on my channel. I will do that for you.
Right. So don't forget, D3D4 Football Podcast is now out. I'm on it. Give it a listen. And also, big shout out to the Middle Isle Podcast as well, which are a group of lads from Blackpool who do a weekly podcast. It's only 20 minutes, half an hour. It's all about random items they found in the Middle Isle of German supermarkets. And it's very funny. So yeah, the Blackpool lads, it's not football related, but it's very, very funny. If you like us, I'm sure you'll like them because they just crack me up. I listen to it every week. So have a listen to that on your usual podcast platforms. You can find them on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and Spotify and everywhere. But they're shout out for them because they do make me laugh every week. So we're back here Tuesday night. See you 5:00 on Tuesday.
If you don't see you through the week, we'll see you through the window. Right. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Thanks for, let's see if I can find an outro thing now. All the technology problems we've had here. Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you Tuesday. We won't be doing Monday night. I don't think I'll be doing a Monday night show. Maybe
I think we've done preview shows to death, haven't we? It's our second one.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting a bit overkill. So we'll probably leave
Tuesday.
it till Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have the all the techers.
Ain't gonna happen. You have to bear with us.
Hopefully we won't have.
Should we start at 4 and then we might be ready for 5?
Well, we won't be using this blooming Mac again. I don't know why. We'll have to look at the Mac as to why it wasn't doing Chrome for some reason. It all went.
Maybe it's not compatible with StreamYard. Maybe we should...
Chrome is. It's I have to use Chrome because
obviously not today.
No.
See you Tuesday.
Thanks a lot, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care, and come on the pool.
Go on the pool. Go on the pool.
And in true Avengers style, I'm still here. So if you're still in the stream, there'll be a few people left. You got to wait right to the end for the end credits. But honestly, I think we can do it. I really do. I've just got that feeling we're going to do it. So hopefully, no, not even hopefully, we're going to do it. We're going to get promoted. Bring on the Preston. See you all. Bye. Boop. Gone.